Well, good morning, everybody. Well, hello and welcome to the Ferrari HP Esports Series. Great to have you all with us. We are heading back to the region of Emilia-Romagna here at Imola. This time, though, for the Asia-Pacific region. In terms of what's happening in this series, it has truly been remarkable stepping into this. George Morgan here, your commentator, alongside me as well for the first time this series as well, Nina Jade. Nina, warm welcome to you to the Ferrari HP Esports Series. We've got some more fascinating action about to unfold. Welcome, first and foremost.
Thank you. Hello. Good morning, George, and good morning to everyone. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. As we know, the competition got started with the hot lap qualifiers and the fastest drivers progressing to the regional qualifiers. The best drivers from there progressed to the regional finals, which brings us to today, George.
It certainly does, Nina. And just to say as well, folks, if you have not qualified for the Ferrari HP Esports Series, you still have an opportunity to qualify for the finals in December alike. You can still compete in the Hot Lap Challenge, the Thrustmaster Ferrari Hot Lap Challenge, the Community Cup, that will, of course, give you, or maybe even give you an opportunity to stamp your ticket to head to Abu Dhabi in December. Like I said, opens up on Wednesday, so make sure you take part in it. Plenty of opportunities for you guys to get involved, so please do. There is a sign-up available on the website as well alike, so be sure to check that out. But in the meantime, we've got to look at the action we have got in front of us here, this time at Imola. It all started back only a matter of a couple of days ago. We, of course, witnessed the Americas region go out, and it did fall the way of the one, the only Nicolas Rubelar, who went on to go 3 in a row, taking 3 individual victories, eventually landing 75 points come the end of play. Do you think we'll see something similar again, Nina?
I have no idea, but can we just say hats off to Rubelar? And you know, he did say that practice really does make perfect. He's put the hours in. In your post-race interview, George, he said he spent 20 hours of practice on this track. So it's not like these guys are just waking up and hopping on the sim and driving. A lot of hard work and a lot of dedication goes on behind the scenes. I can't wait to see who shows out today.
Yeah, we've got drivers from all walks of life, and obviously we had a couple of drivers that came in as well from the real life side of things as well. We had a couple of drivers even driving the Ferrari 488 of old. Here is the format structure, though, however, for the Ferrari HP Esports Series. 30 participants from hot laps and regional qualifiers. That then fed into the 2 rounds that we have, with 3 races for all participants for both rounds 1 and rounds 2, with the top 5 from each region then qualifying for the Ferrari Esports Series 2024 Grand Finals on December 5th at Ferrari World Yas Island in Abu Dhabi. Of course, the top drivers will come from AC, iRacing, and of course ACC alike. So plenty of talents there available to pick from, and no doubt they're all going to be looking to pursue their dreams in becoming the champion of the Ferrari HP Esports Series. And it could, you never know, we could find our champion here tonight, but there is a long journey still to be had afoot. Of course, with the regions that we have taking part, we have them, of course, coming from Europe as well as Americas. Tonight, though, is the Asian Pacific region, so that could be anywhere from Australia heading through in towards Japan, China, you name it, across the globe, and then heading into Europe as well. Of course, that'll be coming up very soon as well. We'll show you the regions in itself. 3 in totality. There is the Asian Pacific region. We then have the European regions, and then we move across to the Americas that we've already had a first round in. And now we will see Asia look to stamp its authority. Asia Pacific looking to crown its very own champion. We'll see whether anyone can do exactly what Rubelar, the Chilean, did after victory in round 1, in race 1, race 2, and race 3. Purely Imola was his canvas. No one could really stop him. Bear in mind as well, folks, we've got 3 15-minute races to bring you across the night. First and foremost, though, qualifying feeds into race 1, and then the grids for race 2 and race 3 are decided by the race results coming off the back of the opening race, and then so on and so forth. I mean, it is a furiously fast system. Great to see these regions coming together as well, Nina, especially considering the fact that you've got the best in the world essentially coming from America, some of the best in the world from Europe, and some of the best in the world from the Asian Pacific region as well.
Absolutely. I mean, like Sebastian Vettel once said, everyone is a Ferrari fan. Deep down, everyone is a Ferrari fan, and now people have the opportunity to take that fandom and put it onto a world stage, George. It's amazing.
It certainly is, and obviously to represent a brand such as Ferrari is quite big in terms of a driver's pursuit. Of course, we see it and hear it in real life. You alluded to Sebastian Vettel. His dream was to drive the red car. He eventually did. Unfortunately, never was able to capture a world championship in Formula One, but nevertheless, a dream was achieved. These drivers will be hoping to achieve their very own dreams as well. Charles Leclerc, incidentally, also achieving a dream in his own right after winning at Monza during the Italian Grand Prix. Here is our calendar. We ticked off America's already here at Imola. We now head to the Asia Pacific region here at Imola for round 2. That, of course, being on September 2nd, where we currently sit today. Of course, we do have the European region coming up as well for round 3. And then we take a trip to Watkins Glen for round 4, 5 and 6. That is on Assetto Corsa Competizione. Starts on September 4th, where we'll meet both the Asia Pacific and the European regions that same day. And then on the 7th of September, we open up the Americas for round 6. Round 7, 8 and 9, we head to Laguna Seca on Assetto Corsa in itself. 6th September for the Asia Pacific and European regions, and then the 14th of September for the Americas. And then heading into the second half of the calendar, Summit Point. We won't quite reach the summit at that point. Of course, we're just after the halfway point, I should say. Asia Pacific region, round 10 on the 30th of September. Back on iRacing, and then once again for round 11, that time from Europe. And then following that, round 12 with Americas on October 5th. And then round 13, 14 and 15, Asian, Pacific, European and Americas regions at Silverstone on Assetto Corsa Competizione. Starts on October 2nd and then October 12th. And then round 16, 17 and 18, we head to the grand finale of sorts, Nürburgring, that will soon bring an end to our qualifier phase or regional finals phase, where we will then find out which drivers are going to be heading to Yas Island, Abu Dhabi. Asian Pacific European region starts on October 4th, and then we finish the regional finals on the 19th of October. With Nürburgring lighting things up on Assetto Corsa in the Americas region. So there we have it, folks. Lots to look forward to. A long calendar ahead, but first and foremost, we need to conclude all the action here at Imola, which we will be doing so today, of course, starting off with the Asian Pacific region, but we will, of course, eventually find ourselves in Europe as well. Here is the circuit. We are heading back to Emilia-Romagna. As you can see, the line taking us through Villeneuve out of Tamburello, heading up through Tosa, then through Piratella, through Acqua Minerale, then heading into Variante Alta and downhill in towards Ravazza 1 and 2. Opened back in April 25th of 1959 and hosted at Grand Prix racing ever since 1980. 25 miles east of Bologna, set alongside the stunning Saturno River. So these drivers have got quite the mission on their hands, Nina. Elevation changes are plenty here at Imola, a roller coaster circuit of sorts. Still lots of opportunity for the drivers. Yat Long Kong, who are currently watching out on track, now climbing up the hill, heading through the very fast Piratella section. Now, this is where you will find yourself going downhill. You need to be ever so cautious, though, when you venture down to the lowest point of this circuit, because you'll then meet Acqua Minerale. And obviously, those curbs can be quite aggressive on the inside and then curtailing back out again. But with the reasonable ground clearance you have with the Ferrari 296, it does mean that you are able to attack those curves ever so slightly, not quite the same levels of downforce as you'll find in a Formula One car, which means you can just be that little bit more physical when you're driving one of these GT3s.
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, practice absolutely makes perfect, especially with this track. So I reckon the more practice you've had on it, especially in live races, it's definitely going to give you an advantage.
Definitely that. Will Chen came across the line. He is set at 1:42.703, but that's by no means the fastest. Guess who's fastest? It's Sota Muto, a 1:41.047. And can I just say, 6.5 tenths clear of Yat Long Kong, who now sits in second place. So it's Sota Muto draws first blood immediately right from the get-go. Can anyone beat that 1:41? Well, with 5 minutes complete, we've only got 2 minutes left of the round, nearly a minute and a half left in qualifying. It's a brutal system, isn't it, Nina? Only having 7 minutes to qualify your laps. That essentially gives you, what, 3 laps, as now Cody Deeth goes fastest.
Wow. Brilliant lap from Cody Deeth. He also sends a message saying, hey, I'm here. You're not running away with this, Muto. I love that. Also, Khalib Hides, Kong, they're all quite close with each other.
No one could top Sota Muto, though, who managed to pull together the fastest lap, breaking into the 1:40.8 ahead of Cody Deeth in great style. That's how you want to do it. Clear by around 200ths of a second. So it's really close between Cody Deeth. Cody Deeth and Sota Muto sending the clear messages you so rightly say, Nina, but it's Muto who's on pole for our opening race.
Absolutely. And like I say, it's not all over. There are 3 races during this session. The qualifying decides where we are for race 1, but where you finish in race 1 decides where you are for race 2. So it's all to play for, George.
It certainly is. Only 15 minutes of action in front of the drivers as we look to go racing here at Imola. But getting started is ever so important. Getting that early run up towards the start-finish line, putting your car in front, and also notching together some serious points as well. Obviously, very much like the way Nicolas Rubelar managed to do it in our last event where we went racing at Imola. But round 1 is now all said and done. It's now the time for round 2. Let's see which driver topples the timings, and also by that equation starts on pole. Of course, Sotomuto being that driver, will he go ahead to take 3 successive victories alongside the likes of Rubelar? We will soon find out. Plenty, though, of drivers looking to perhaps notch their way higher. It's interesting to note that 2 of the drivers with the highest iRacing, of course, we've got 10.5k for Sotomuto and nearly 11k for Cody Deeth. You know, at the end of the day, Muto's going to be very well aware, I would imagine, of Cody Deeth's pace here. You know, he's just got to try and bottleneck him, I suppose, heading through towards Tamburello, keep him behind, but the Aussie is going to be very tricky to deal with.
Absolutely. It's all psychological games as well. You know, Muto knowing Deeth has a higher iRacing rate, it's like, oh, I'm trying to get in your head. I'm right behind you. I'm right here. I'm going to overtake you. It's all those mental games, isn't it, George?
Yeah, well, we talk about some of the braking zones heading into Tamburello. It's very heavy coming into that portion of circuit, steeped in history and, of course, tragedy at that very treacherous point of the circuit. And then, of course, heading in towards turn 7 later on as well, you can sometimes find an opportunity coming up through Tosa before you then rise uphill towards turns 8 and 9 at Piratera. And if you fancy your chances, you can make moves down at Aqua Minerale, breaking in towards turn 11, out of turn 12 and 13. Variante Alta is very much a closed shop when you enter that chicane, very tight once again, and then you've got the heavy braking zones through Ravazza 1 and Ravazza 2 at turns 17 and 18. Like I said, 4.909 kilometers, 3.050 miles. No question, we did see many moves made at our last event for round 1 for the Americas region. Very soon now, the Asia Pacific region will be lighting things up here at Imola. Now, obviously, let us know who your thoughts are, everybody at home tuning in and watching, as to who you think is going to take victory here in our opening race. Of course, remember that opening race result feeding into the grid for our next 2 races.
Absolutely. And, you know, you kind of do want to start a bit further up the field. When you start in the midfield, there's risk for first lap dramas and all that kind of stuff. So I think Muto will be very happy that he's starting first.
The pass, but now as they make their way up towards the line to get us underway, a rolling start will commence us here for round 2 of the Ferrari HP Esports Series. Deeth and Muto side by side as they now make their way down through towards the start-finish line. And we'll wait for those lights to go green. They go red. They will soon go out, and it's pedal to the metal. And it is go, 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 go. Great start for Muto. Equally, Cody Deeth also on the inside. Might have, though, a little bit of a tricky job because he has got a queue of cars in behind with Yandat Kong, I should say, and Caleb Hides, who's trying to battle his way through. Great start for Thomas Wilson, who moves up into 3rd. Yi Xuan Zhu now moving up into 5th with Bruce Long, and there's a big crash at the back. Huge incident at Tamburello, Nina. So a tough start already for Xiao, as now we see Seymour and Long going at it, wheel to wheel. They crash together coming through the Variante Alta, but running out very wide as we now watch them make their way out of the chicane. And this is going to allow Xiao to go up the inside in the yellow car.
Gosh, this is so different from the Americas race. There's action already.
Being followed by McLeod, who is sat in 10th, but has got 4 seconds to find on Chen. Brian Long trying to keep, or should I say Bruce Long trying to keep Will Chen in behind. Chen now looks to go uphill out of Tosa, but running a little wide there was Bruce Long, and that will afford an opportunity here for Will Chen to go up the inside, heading up towards the Piratella once more. Very, very fast left-hander this one. The 296 digging deep. Nice move that at a very tricky corner. Very easy to get thrown out wide. We saw Bruce Long unfortunately going wide at Tosa, and that led to Will Chen eventually being able to make the move.
Blood, George.
He definitely can. 3 to 4 tenths indeed. and creeping closer by the moment. The trip down through towards Tamburello is in sight. Does he look to go side by side, heading in towards the left-hander? He will go wheel to wheel, as now it looks like Caleb Hydes might have Thomas Wilson's number. They are going to remain wheel to wheel again. I must say, respectful racing, clean racing, fantastic move from Caleb Hydes, and he's now in P3. Downhill and then straight away uphill once more, but as the seconds tick away, Cody Deeth, what a fabulous start to this one. 1.1, it may have decreased slightly in terms of gap between he and Sota Muto, but not enough laps for Muto to close the gap, because Cody Deeth is going to take race 1 victory here at Imola. A great start for Cody Deeth. The Aussie claims it, with Sota Muto finishing in second place. Caleb Hydes will eventually cross the line in third. A wonderful first race, pretty much in clockwork. Aside from the incident that we saw at the very start, Nina, we didn't see much more carnage, to be honest.
No, I actually thought it was going to be the opposite. I thought it was going to be quite settled at the beginning and carnage at the end as people started to get desperate, but it was the complete opposite. Desperation at the beginning and settled at the end.
Yeah, it certainly was settled. And I must say, a formality there for Cody Deeth, who managed to build that gap nearly upwards to 1.8 seconds. It's since had decreased towards the very end. The actual finishing interval was actually just beyond a second. So Sota Muto doing a great job of clambering back those 7 to 8 tenth of a second, and then towards the bitter end, unfortunately, just did not have enough in the locker to close it to within a second. But you'll take solace from that. Still big points in the opening race. Just because, obviously, Cody Deeth took victory in race 1 doesn't necessarily mean, though, he's going to take it in race 2 or 3, does it?
Absolutely. I mean, he's still got 18 points. He just needs to reset, put any dramas, issues behind him, and treat the next race like a new race, which essentially it is.
Yeah, obviously he'll be looking to try and win here at Imola. Remember, of course, finished P3 here in GT World Challenge Esports Asia Sprint Championship. We'll now be looking to come back this time in 2024 to lay claim to a first victory in the Ferrari HP Esports Series. But first and foremost, needs to break ahead of Cody Deeth, who has got off to that perfect start. Well done, Cody Deeth. Caleb Hydes, though, it's an Aussie 1 and 3 here in this one. Obviously, Caleb Hydes doing a great job keeping Thomas Wilson at bay. We saw those two going wheel to wheel, Nina, and they brought us some tremendous action.
Absolutely. Caleb managed to hold him off, and I imagine Caleb will want a better showing in the next race as well. He might just want to finish one step above where he is now currently, so watch out for him as well.
Yeah, still a couple of better places for Caleb Hydes to reach, and did exceptionally well to keep Thomas Wilson in behind. Here are the standings. Cody Deeth picking up 25 points. Sota Muto picking up 18. Caleb Hydes picking up 15 with Thomas Wilson 12. Dylan Su picking up 10. And then Alexander Seymour picking up 8 points. Will Chen on 6. And Eric Shao picking up 4 points as well. So that's your top 8. In that battle. Of course, we moved down to 9th place and beyond. Bruce Long picking up 2 points. Alistair McLeod, who was getting closer to the back of Long, wasn't able to move from 10th to 8th. Remember, he started in 8th place. Did McLeod, after losing 2 places, will have to be satisfied with 1 solitary point. And Daniel Harris in 11th, with Yi Lin Say in 12th, and then Dua Wirasakanda as well. I'll get that name right, I promise, in 13th. Yan Long Kong in 14th. Sek Yin Ho down in 15th, and James Nudick in 16th spot as well. Poles for show, points for dough. That's exactly what these drivers will be thinking. Cody Deeth starting on the top with Sota Muto alongside him, but a great start here from Caleb Hydes. Now, was that too early? I don't think so, because they're going to put pedal to the metal, and it's go, 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 go. Sota Muto was caught napping and has since dropped down the field. Great opportunity here for Caleb Hydes, who's moved into second, and further back, Sota Muto being chased by Yishuan Zhu, as well as Thomas Wilson in behind. Alexander Seymour in 6th place as well. Will Chen then further back, but Cody Deeth has managed to clear Muto once again. Now this time, a look down the inside, as now Chung looks to go equally defensive, but on the attack, as now we watch them go wheel to wheel near enough. Jackie Chung trying to fend everybody off right now as they look to go side by side. It's Chung down in 11th now this time. McLeod in 9th. Yong Kong as well further up as well. An amazing battle between this bunch now, as McLeod somehow holds on to 9th. As now we rejoin the battle at the front. Look at this, Sota Muto here, Nina.
Goodness me, Sota Muto is going to try and make a move down. Oh, down into Tamburello. Oh, he's on the grass, George.
Yeah, very close. Got onto the curb, flashing the lights as well. A slight twinkle coming on the front of the 296. Oh, no.
No.
Oh. He took that a little bit aggressively, I think, Nina, and unfortunately has paid the price. Vicious defense there from Caleb. Straight once again. 5 minutes have been concluded. very soon as well. We will have 6 minutes concluded. Here comes Muto up the inside, heading in towards Tamburello. A fantastic effort, gets up the inside, and look at this. Kong also looking for that P8. He might have got it, not quite sure. Long and Kong going at it for that 8th place, with Chung sat in 10th as well. But a great overtake from Soto Muto moves him up into 7th.
Oh, what brilliant racing, George. It's just so tense in the midfield, isn't it? It's all still quite bunched up. So there's so much to play for. There's a lot of guys fighting, so mistakes can happen. Watch this space.
Yeah, Yong Kong managing to move up into 8th, and Long McLeod moving up into 10th as well. This is a battle over one solitary point here in this race. Jackie Chung being forced to wait in behind, unfortunately losing that spot coming out. And we head back to 10th as well. Just look at this, a huge battle for 10th. Of course, points mean prizes, even if it's 1 point, Nina.
Absolutely. And like I say, the battle down in the midfield is where we need to watch. Oh, George!
Big crash, and McLeod has come a cropper, as has Bruce Long. Or should I say, where is Saknanda? I think further back as well. You never know. Swapping over to the inside and then to the outside, but covering him off is Seymour. Seymour trying to show him to the outside once more, coming through Tamburello, but the blue 296 still defiant in this case. Seymour running off wide, and Sue moves into 6th. Fabulous effort there. It's Cody Deeth who is looking to solidify his position at the top of the championship with a 2nd race victory in succession. The gap to him and Hydes is stretching to over 4 seconds. He's still aggressively taking every apex, as he did at the very start of the race. And as he comes up towards the line once more, he will take victory back-to-back for Cody Deeth. It is a victory in race 1, followed up with one in race 2. And then his fellow countryman Caleb Hydes takes 2nd place, with Thomas Wilson in 3rd. It's an Aussie 1, 2 and 3, Nina. Here at Imola, and you never know, could be Cody Deeth's turn this time around as well. Great efforts though from Caleb Hydes, whose race was pretty much decided, Nina, at the very start, wasn't it? He took advantage of I suppose a sleeping Sota Muto at the very start. Did not get the jump at all, Muto, like he did in the opening race. Ideally would have wanted to challenge Deeth heading down towards Tamburello, but I just think rested on his laurels a little bit too much to the delight of Caleb Hydes.
Absolutely. I think Caleb would have saw what Soto Muto did in that race, and maybe we'll make that think for race 3. Maybe not to be that aggressive, because I don't want to ruin my whole race. I think he still wants the win, but he might be a little bit cautious. Yeah,
of course, Cody Deeth now trying to position yet one hand on the championship prize of at least qualifying for Yas Marina, or should I say heading towards Yas Island at Ferrari World in Abu Dhabi. You never know, it could be him. But of course, we've still got plenty more racing still to come. Of course, remember, after we conclude here at Imola, we do have one more race to bring you folks, incidentally, and then we're off to Summit Point in October. But Cody Deeth is your victor. 50 points to his name now. 25 in race 1, 25 in race 2. Caleb Hydes sitting in 2nd in the championship with 33. Sota Muto in 3rd place, 30 points to his name, with Thomas Wilson in 4th, Dylan Zhu in 5th, Will Chen in 6th, Alexander Seymour then down in 7th, with Jackie Chung in 8th place on 6 points as well alike. We can then obviously take a look down furthermore with P9, Alistair McLeod on 4 points, Eric Zhao in 10th, joined on 4 points, incidentally, with Bruce Long. And then we have Dua Wirasakananda as well on 1 point, with Daniel Harris in 13th, Yilin Sei, Yand Long Kong, and Sek Ying Ho, all of which still need to score their first points. All to play for still. We're very much in the early stages of the competition, though. Funny enough, after we finish this one, essentially for these guys, it'll be the halfway point. The next point will be Summit Point for them, where they'll reach the summit of their regional finals, as now they put pedal to the metal, and they go once again. Cody Deeth with the lead once more. Caleb Hydes on top in 2nd, with Thomas Wilson in 3rd as well. But we've got quite a lot of cars making their way in towards Tamburello, trying to get themselves into the equation. Sota Muto being one of them, currently sat in 4th, and a little twitchy there from Thomas Wilson, who lost a little bit coming out of Tamburello through towards Villeneuve this time. Look at Yi Chuan Su as well up the inside of Sota Muto. These two are going to go wheel to wheel, but the blue 296 the better on this occasion. Yi Chuan Su, great move into Villeneuve, and moves up through Tosa in 4th place. Obviously in third as well. Just look at this as well. A gaggle of cars, they're making their way in towards Tamburello. We've got Jackie Chung, who we're currently watching. He's got McLeod and Sue currently sat in sixth. Remember, Sue got the great start, managed to get ahead of Sotomuto, has since lost places. Will Chen has gone ahead of him, so the blue 296 now under pressure as McLeod goes round the outside, gets on the curb. Oh no! Oh, that's Jackie Chung, who's unfortunately lost it, I think, ever so slightly. Jackie Chung falling down the order. He has joined Bruce Long, who sits in 11th, and there's a car off there. You can see it in the background. That is Bruce Long, who was unfortunately lost out.
He knows he's got a job to do and stuff to make up for from the previous race, but he does need to get this move done pretty quickly, George. Otherwise, the top two will just roll off into the sunset and leave him.
Yeah, well, Muto might get him here as well. Of course, Wilson, who hails from Adelaide in Australia, has just lost out on P3 to Sota Muto. Then rising up the hill once more. It's running a little bit wide. The rear just escaping Will Chen ever so slightly, but did well actually on the escape. And is now sending it down towards Variante Alta. The pace with Will Chen looks good. Not necessarily as good as what Yutran Su's got, but his defense is good, but Su's round.
Oh my goodness, George, I really wasn't expecting that.
No, caught us late, it must be said, and he spun it again. He spun it again, not good at all. Tried to rewrite the 296, but has unfortunately lost it. Keeps the car off the road to allow those points. He'll only pick up 2 if it stays like this.
Absolutely. As you say, this is the final race of today, so he's just lost a bucket load of points. He's made a mistake. It was costly, but he's just head down and try and work his way back up.
Yeah, Yat Long Kong also looking to move his way up. Moves past Uera Sakananda, who's now down in 12th. Eric Xiao, as he looks to close up to the back of Alistair McLeod now. Will look to go wheel to wheel, heading down the long straight. Now across the timing line once more. Question is, can Xiao get enough of his car alongside McLeod in order to take that P7 away? He's got the nose of the 296 in front. Will it be the rest of the car coming through on the outside of Tamburello? He's going to commit to his line, and he'll commit to P7 in the process. Great move from Eric Xiao in front, and I must say it's been a clinical performance. It's 1, 2 and 3 for Cody Deeth, the Triple Crown winner here at Imola, with Hides in second. Sotomuto will have to just renege in third. A good effort though from Muto. It clearly says that, speaks volumes. Cody Deeth proving that he is all that here. The Aussie will celebrate 3 race victories. It's an Aussie 1-2 once again, with Caleb Hides finishing in second, who in his own right has been superb as well here. Sotomuto has had to do a couple of comebacks. He came back strongly in that last race as well. Would you say his starts have let him down, really, Nina?
I would. I'd say that's what he needs to work on for the next race at Summit Point, I would actually say. But he's fast. He's got raw pace, George. So if he just gets his starts right, I reckon he's a big contender.
Well, I can tell you that Sotomuto's times, as he made his way deeper into the race, were faster than Cody Deeth and Caleb Hides. A truly remarkable effort. Here are the standings after round 2. Cody Deeth sat at the top of the tree, 75 points. Caleb Hides in second on 51. Sotomuto in third on 45. Thomas Wilson on 39 in fourth. Will Chen in fifth on 26. Dylan Zhu on 20 in sixth place. Alex Seymour in seventh on 16. Eric Xiao in 8th place on 10 points. We'll then look down into the other section of the championship standings. Alistair McLeod on 9 points in 9th place, and then Jackie Chung in 10th on 6 points. Bruce Long in 11th place with 5 points. Dua Rua Sakananda in 12th on 1 point. And then Daniel Harris, Yi Lin Shea, as well as Yan Long Kong and Zek Ying Ho, all looking to score their first points of the championship. Hasn't been an easy one for those guys who'll be looking to try and look ahead to Summit Point in a bid to perhaps try and get their first points of the championship. It's never easy when you leave your opening round, especially in a 2-round championship. Essentially, you know, you've already done one half of the championship. You're aware that the Ferrari World Yas Island trip is only just around the corner when we look to December, but you know, they need to really be clinical at Summit Point now, Nina.
Absolutely. A lot of practicing needs to go place between now and the end of the month. Head down, reset, focus, and let's see what happens.
Yeah, it's going to be tremendous, but no doubt in anyone's mind that Cody Deeth is the one to beat, right?
Absolutely. What a masterclass, like I say. Domination from the beginning. Didn't qualify in pole for that first race, overtook for the lead, and kept it ever since.
He did. He was absolutely sensational, following suit from the likes, from what we saw back at the Americas. Of course, that went the way of Nicolas Rubelar, the Chilean, taking that one. A tremendous effort on his part. The question is, can he go further and take something a little extra? We'll have to wait and see. Obviously, we've got Summit Point to come very soon as far as the Asian regions are concerned. But as far as Imola is concerned, that has all been concluded. Sotomuto, what does he need to do, Nina?
He needs to work on his starts. He needs to dig deep, get practicing, do practice starts. Like I said, he's got raw pace. He's fast. He's quick. He knows what he's doing. So I think it's just about having that composure at the beginning of the races and then really going for it.
Yeah, he's got a fantastic CV, obviously under his belt with just the ability of performing at the top class level, pro class in the GT World Challenge Esports Asia Sprint Championship, which is fantastic. But folks, that has been all the action here on Imola, here back at Asia. We're going to look ahead, obviously, to a fantastic weekend at Summit Point as we now look to move onward and upwards. We've got Cody Deeth, I believe, standing by for an interview as well. Cody, are you with us?
Yes, I am. How are you?
Cody Deeth, a fabulous effort on your part, obviously managing to clamber and take a phenomenal Triple Crown victory, following in the footsteps of Nicolas Rubelar. That's not a bad way to start your championship, is it?
No, it's not at all. It's I'm pretty happy with it. A few mistakes, but in the last race especially, but apart from that, I'm pretty happy with it, and it's a good way to start the championship.
Yeah, I mean, obviously qualifying didn't probably necessarily go to plan. Obviously, Sotomuto, I would say, and yourself, fairly equal on pace. But, you know, you sent an early message anyway to him by, I suppose, taking that early lead. I mean, that truly speaks volumes about your pace. I mean, looking ahead to the rest of the championship, that must give you a great bout of confidence.
Yeah, it certainly does. On to Summit Point, so that should be pretty fun. Hopefully the paces are the same there, and hopefully Soda's not as quick as he was here, because he was quite quick pretty much everywhere. So see how he goes next race.
Yeah, and what are the main challenges that that you believe you'll encounter when heading to Summit Point? What are the main differences when we separate Imola from Summit Point? Because they are a gulf in difference, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. Summit Point, it's a lot more you know, stop and start, whereas Imola's a lot more flowing, which I think suits me better, the more flowing tracks. But you know, we'll see how we go next. What is it? 3 weeks, I think. 3
Yeah,
weeks.
not too far away. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean,
we'll see how we go there.
And we're at the halfway point as well, and looking ahead, you know, you'll have your sights set on qualifying for Yas Island at Abu Dhabi. Of course, it's a grand occasion for any esports driver. You know, with your journey, can you tell us a little bit about it? You know, what it's taken for you to get here?
Oh, you know, probably started sim racing when I was probably maybe 13 or 14. You know, started there, joined an esports team in Australia, one of the best teams in Australia at the time. Moved to Williams in late part of early 2023, and then I've joined Grid and Go as of this year, and same with my teammate Nicolas Rubelar. He's also a part of Grid and Go. You know, it's been a pretty good year so far. Lots of good times, lots of good pace, and I think that I guess the team has just helped me get to where I am today.
Yeah, well, obviously we're seeing the trends between both yourself and Nicolas Rubelar already. Both of you Triple Crown winners here already in the regional final. So a tremendous effort. I mean, thank you ever so much, of course, Cody, for joining us as well. A fantastic effort. 3 major wins already here in the regional finals. We wish you all the best at Summit Point.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Thank you very much. Cody Deeth, everybody, fabulous competitor, and has certainly given us his very best. No doubt we'll see more of it when we head to Summit Point. What do you think of his views on that race? Made a few mistakes he alluded to as well, Nina. We did see the delta drop between he and Caleb Hides towards the end of that last race. He needs to erase those, especially at Summit Point, I think, even if it's his weakest circuit as well.
Absolutely. I was just going to pick up on that. He said he prefers the free-flowing of Imola, so that might be a bogey track for him, the next circuit. So you never know. That's why it's still all to play for, and it's wide open.
Yeah, it definitely is. Obviously, we've got plenty to play for still. Obviously, like I said, folks, 3 races to bring you at Summit Point when that rolls around here in the Asia-Pacific region. One thing I can say is that these drivers have not disappointed. Sotomuto, I can bet your bottom dollar he's going to want to come back fighting. Needs to as well. 2 P2 finishes and just outside the podium in race 2 as well. But Caleb Hides also could be a thorn in his side as we move to Summit Point. But don't forget, the top 5 go through to the finals at Yas Island, Abu Dhabi. So still lots to play for, even for those that did not achieve podiums either, Nina. There's opportunities here for many drivers across this grid still to get qualification into Yas Island.
Absolutely. I mean, it's been a fantastic round, great driving, fantastic battles. There's been drama. So all I would say is get your popcorn, get comfy, and we're in for a great series.
Well, you heard Nina. Get your popcorn at the ready and make sure you have it as well ready for round 3 that's coming up very soon. But from all of us here in the Asia Pacific, Imola, second round, it's goodbye.